If you want to practice your writing regularly, I have 3 tips that make it super easy to incorporate writing into your daily schedule, and you can start using them today. The first tip is set aside 20 minutes for your writing practice. It does not have to be at the exact same time every day. You just want to make sure that you fit it in. And I recommend sticking with 20 minutes every single day for the first 30 days, at least the first 30 days of starting this practice, because after that, it will just be part of your routine, part of your schedule, or it should be at least. And if you end up taking breaks and not sticking with it consecutively, maybe only write 5 days a week instead of 7 after that, that's up to you and your personal circumstances. But if you stick with it for every day for at least 30 days, then you're much more likely to adapt it to some regular, consistent schedule that works for you going forward after those 30 days. And 20 minutes is really the magic number for me because it's not too little. You can really get a lot done in 20 minutes, but it's not too much. Pretty much, if you're thinking about writing, you have an extra 20 minutes somewhere. You could spend it on relaxing or unwinding, and there are times for that, but there's probably 20 minutes at some point during your day where you're doing things that really don't make a big difference in your life. And if you care about becoming a better writer, you just have to shift your habits around a little bit and say, hey, this writing thing is important to me, instead of doing this thing that doesn't really have any positive impact on my life. That takes 20 minutes. I'm going to spend that 20 minutes on my writing instead. The second tip is to have 3 ideas that you want to explore when you sit down to write. Now, this could be a big project that you're working on, some big topic, some big idea, and then 2 other interests that you want to explore. But it's good to have a variety of things that interest you when you sit down to write, which leads me to my 3rd tip, which is write what is easy and what comes the most naturally to you first. So if you have a couple or a few topics to choose from tip number 2, whatever you feel like that day is how you should start writing. I'd say more than 50% of the time, I don't start an article from the beginning of the article either. I start at the point of the article that interests me the most, the easiest part. Sometimes I start with a conclusion and I know where I want the writing to go, and then I work backwards. Sometimes I start at any point in the middle. That's usually, occasionally I do start with an introduction, but the idea here is, instead of waiting for the part of your writing that you haven't quite worked out yet, you have to have your ideas marinate a little bit more in your mind before that section is something that you can approach and work on. Start with the things that you have already written in your head, that you're already thinking about. It just makes it so much easier to get into the flow of writing, and you want to get that momentum as quickly as possible, because then once all of your initial thoughts are out, you're warmed up to tackle the sections or the ideas that you needed a little bit more time to think about. So those are the 3 tips. Now it is your turn to comment by giving this video a thumbs up or giving it a thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel or unsubscribe. And if you are still with me, I will talk with you soon.